A reflection for Tuesday, June 9th, Memorial of St. Ephraim, Deacon and Doctor of the Church. In our first reading today from First Book of Kings, chapter 17, a widow stood at the age of despair. She had done the mathematics, a handful of flour, a little oil, and one last meal, and then death. As far as she could see, the story was over. But what if she was wrong? What if the greatest poverty is not the lack of resources, but the loss of hope? What if the widow's real problem was not the empty jar, but the belief that nothing more was possible? This is where Elijah came into the story. He arrives with a certain request. Make me a little cake first. In other words, trust before you have proof. And she does exactly so. Now, the remarkable thing here is that God does not suddenly give her overflowing storehouses. Instead, God's provision comes one day at a time, teaching her that the real gift is not abundance, but trust. The gospel reading today from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 5, sheds a beautiful light on this story. Jesus tells his disciples, "You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world." Salt seems insignificant. A lamb is small compared to the darkness around it. Yet Jesus says that these little things have the power to transform the world. The widow had only a little flour and a little oil. The disciples seem to have been only a little influence in a vast and broken world. Now, we often feel we have only a little faith, a little strength, a little courage. Yet God delights in working through what appears little, what appears small. What if the reason God does not always give us more is because He wants us to discover the power hidden in the little we already have? A pinch of salt can preserve an entire meal. A small lamb can guide a traveler through the night. The widow in our story trusted God with her little, and her little became enough. The disciples offered Christ their ordinary lives, and they became the light of the world. Now, what if the little you are tempted to dismiss today, that little faith, that little gift you have, that little kindness, that prayer, your generosity is precisely the light God wants to place on a lampstand and the salt He wants to use to flavor the world? My friend, I am convinced that in God's hand, what seems small is never insignificant. What about you? May God bless you.